What's up everyone and welcome back to Braka. For today's video, I will be walking you through the flip side of the original Cal guide. We are finally working on Jedi Cal. Now the good news that I have for you is this is extremely easy. It is not technical. We're talking easier than Riva. All you really need to do is have a well modded and built Cal, generally know the way that his kit wants to flow. You don't even need to really know specifics, but just have the general game plan and the character will do the rest of the work for you. Now for this mission, there are two key things that we need to focus on here. One of them is a big change to Cere, although I will qualify that I really don't think it's a change that matters or that Cere really matters in this mission at all. This is very much the Jedi Cal show, and that's why I want to talk to you first about Jedi Cal's mods, because I think there is the possibility that you could dip into the wrong stats or wrong focuses and possibly endanger your mission. Now, I do have a Relic 9 Jedi Cal. I guess you still couldn't see the number even with me leading out. It's a Relic 9. But for the purposes of today's run, I have used C3PO bot on Discord as well as Hot Utils to simulate the modding of a Relic 7 version of my Cal and nerf his stats appropriately. I think there's no major differences. The armor and offense are all the same, so no concerns there. We want to focus primarily on health and speed for this mission. This is because we have the win guaranteed. We just need to survive to his instant kill and then mop up the last guy individually. We don't care about our damage output at all, and in fact, we really need to make sure that when we have to enter staff stance, that we do not put ourselves at risk. This mission solely revolves around his dual wield stance because of how incredible this ability is. I'm not going to get too deep on details here. I have a big Cal guide that I'm working on that I would love to go into more detail with there. All you need to know is this ability does a lot of incredible things for us. It cleanses, it gives us protection up, it heals us when we counterattack, which it also gives us retribution. And most importantly, this clause here at the bottom, minus 2% offense per stack of impetuous. Obviously we're counting up to 30 impetuous. This is a huge style of debuff. We don't really see it too often. Usually on like Vandor is one of the easy examples. Between the shielding, between the added defense that we gain, it is a incredible ability. I promise you when you're in this ability, you will feel safe and secure. And it's really the concern of when we have to go into Whirlwind Slam. That's when we can lose. That's when being on modding like crit damage or offense could really come back to bite you. So before I switch off a Cal, I will show you the normal modding that I would use, really just looking for the 3 health sets, the 4 health primaries. Definitely could look at defense as a focus here as well, would use that excellently. I just happen to not really prioritize it. You do have health scaling on the crossguard, but again, at the time that we're worried about our damage output, we've already kind of secured the win. Now, before we begin, I do kind of want to talk about Cere. Again, the way this mission plays, I don't think this is really something you need to go crazy over. Getting to Zepho, we don't want to risk that for our guild. We want to put our best foot forward. So if you want to put your best foot forward, the main key difference you need to know is that Cere and her whole cooldown clause of this part of her kit, where she increased her cooldowns if she took turns and decreased if enemies took turns, that is gone. So now what that means is speed is fair game for Cere. In this video, I have her up at like 300 speed. It's not a huge deal. In fact, you'll see she gets a nuke at like the start of wave 2, but it's not really usable until the end of wave 2. I don't think this matters. You can just keep her old modding or whatever modding you currently have on her. Her job is just to chill, and ideally to stay alive so that it's an extra person so that we can call to assist, get tenacity, right? Bulk is good, protection is good, defense is good, health is good. You got those 3 stats and some amount of speed that isn't like unmodded speedless, you're gonna be fine. I don't think you need to go crazy on this. I think the footage will show for itself that this 300 speed didn't really open up any opportunities for us. It's just what I tossed on just to show the difference. And yeah, that's really all there is to know. I did record a live commentary while I was doing the playthrough. The camera is screwed up for it, so that just is what it is. Other than that, one slight misplay that I, again, don't think really matters, but I used Cere Basic at the start. That's kind of the old OG Cal habit still being there. it doesn't matter. You can just use Cere special because we just call her to assist anyway, so she would have really basic anyway. The bug me to not say it. Here's the playthrough. Here's the, I think, pretty simple, straightforward win with Relic 7 stats. Yeah, enjoy. Happy hunting. Anyway, so this is the first time that I will be trying this with Relic 7 stats. We're just gonna go through. Again, we're very much doing this live. This is not the usual way I do these things, but this will, I think, be the most honest way to do this. Also the fastest way I could possibly get this out. So without further ado. All right, so first things first here. I don't think we really need to worry about this too much. We can kind of just focus more on tenacity up. With Cal, the dual wield stance here, you see it as D, or, you know, wacky, waving inflatable arm tube man. This is one of the strongest defensive moves in the game, and this is how even, you know, Relic 7 or whatever, this is going to be how we elbow out enough survivability that they can't touch us. And technically speaking, we still call Cere to assist, even though she's not a Jedi. We actually probably could have used Cere's defensive move on the opener. Might as well do it now, I guess. But again, the SWGOH had a lot of thought process behind it. This is just not quite we're pushing buttons, but it's not too far off from it either, right? Okay, if you're not familiar with Cal, we use dual wield stance at our first turn. Now we use basic again, we're on our second turn. The way this flows, you know, Jedi Calicron makes it different because you start with 15 stacks. Here we start at 0. We do need to enter staff stance, which I absolutely hate because, again, dual wield stance, incredibly safe. Staff stance, not very safe at all. But we made it through. Back into dual wield stance, we're at 30 stacks already. And yeah, you see Cere not really doing much of anything here. All we're doing here is just, we're at 30 stacks, press your basic, then we're using cross guard stance. You know, we've been focusing on this guy, we gave armor shred to this guy, so we delete the other guy just to kind of make it faster to finish the first wave. Now, one last thing I want to mention here. The form that you are in at the end of the first wave is the form you start in at the start of the second wave. We'll talk about this more when I make the proper Cal guide, but you don't want to repeat stances, and ideally we just want to go immediately back into dual wield stance at the first opportunity. The trick here is going to be making sure we don't end this wave in dual wield. So we'll try a staff here and grab a second armor shred. Kind of working the body here. I don't want Cere taking too much damage. Yeah, like she's not really a risk. I'm not saying it's like that scary, but I mean we have to just let her die either, right? Very much just on this play pattern as we're trying to wrap up the wave. We could just alternate between staff and crossguard if we really just want to be sure that we don't finish the wave in dual wield. And that's not to say that ending in dual wield is like disastrous either. It's just nice to not, right? Okay. So we're here in the end of the last wave. This nuke should be reset, so we'll have it. I'm pretty positive that using it right now does nothing. It's counting their number of turns from the start of this wave. So we can just bang that for now. Let them cook for a while. And again, hey, you see, we're not in dual wield stance. They're actually able to do damage to us. So we just want to get back into duels as fast as possible. Yeah, it does not feel great. But yeah, we're back in duels. Suddenly feeling very safe. And because we have the retribution here, every time that we counterattack, we get 10% health back. There are many, many reasons for why dual wield is just an incredibly good, incredibly powerful stance. Slight misplay that I just did there. Armor shred on her, we're gonna insta kill her. I should have done armor shred here. I don't think it's really gonna matter too much. Yeah, every time that we get a dual wield stance, we're fighting for our lives for a little. I call it survival horror. Back into duels. We're safe. Right now, we have 30 stacks. That means that they have minus 60% offense. On top of we got the shielding. All right, I mean, We're about to delete her. We don't really need to bother firing the Duke. We can just use the Duke here in a second. Let's just get rid of you. Try firing it now. Yeah, why not? Look at that. Again, we're not in crossguard stance. Suddenly, they can put pressure on us. But that really is it. I mean, you can see what I mean, right? SWGOH was so much more of like a designed mission. This could just be a PvP fight. We're just playing Jedi Cal's kit. We're just focusing on the flow of Jedi Cal's kit, and it just tends to win naturally anyway. So as long as you understand the character, as long as you know the general game plan, I am glad that I nerfed down my mods, because usually when I leave dual wield stance, it's not as scary for my usual Cal setup. I got chunked a couple times, all right? It was not as comfortable. So, you know, make sure you work on your health. Make sure you work on your defense. Speed of 285 to 290. Fingers crossed that I don't think I'm going to hear from anyone like, oh, this went horribly for me, but you get the idea, right? Dual wields, incredible. Staff, pretty mediocre. You kind of just use staff and crossguard to finish off the first character of the first wave. Other than that, good luck out there. I'm going to get this out ASAP. Peace.